welcome back to my channel. I know, Kate, what have you done? I became the Easter Bunny. It's not perfect, the edges aren't completely disappeared, but it's my first time ever doing something like this, so it's pretty cool. I quite like it, and my teeth keep moving around as I speak, but yeah, you can drink this too. Anyway, this video will be split into two sections, the prep stage and the application and painting and stuff like that. So this intro is going to be used for both, so if they sound the same, it's because they are. So yeah, if you want to see how to prep or apply this makeup, then keep on watching this video. Hope you enjoy this video.
Let's start. This is polymorph plastic, which we will use to make our bunny teeth. Start by boiling some water. If the kettle were plugged in. There we go. And some quality footage of some boiling water. You definitely subscribe to the right place. Now grab yourself a pot or something and pour boiling water into it. Now's the time to pour in your plastic pellets, however many that you see fit. I got a nice big chunk of polymorph in mine too. You know your plastic is ready to mould when it turns clear, kinda like this. At this point you can take a plastic spoon and scoop some out. But be careful, because this stuff is hot. Yeah. Now you can take it off your spoon, but again, be careful. What you are left with is this mouldable piece of plastic that you can pull apart and mould into any shape you desire. So I flattened it out off camera, because I'm a pro, and took the lazy option, which was cutting it into the shape I desired, which was like a wonky rectangle. Make sure that you smooth out any pointy edges so you can avoid injury, and you are left with something like this. Eventually it hardens and turns white, but if you need more playtime with it, just dip it back into the boiling water. Now you can make a second one matching them up. I should also mention that while it's still in its mouldable stage, I added grooves into the end of the tooth, because if you've been munching on carrots a lot, pretty sure you can have some grooves in your teeth. There you go, I'm adding grooves. You just want to scratch it up. Once your teeth are done, it's time to start the mask. You're going to want some clay, preferably not air dry clay like myself, because, well, this happened. Poor Jemima. If you don't know who she is, well, the short answer is she's my face cast. But if you want to check out the video of me making her, then it's in the info card in the corner of your screen right now. Here I am trying to pull open the packet of clay before realising there's actually instructions to open it with scissors. I kind of felt bad about stabbing it, so I fixed it up with some tape. After trying to open the packet of clay for what felt like an hour, I eventually ripped it open with a lot of frustration. I pulled off a decent sized chunk and started sculpting the bunny face. It's hard to explain this process, so just watch the footage. If you want to look in the description box, I put the link to the reference picture that I used. I mostly just started getting the clay evenly over the nose area, bridging the slope from my nose to cheek. I kept building up the cheek area for big fluffy cute bunny cheeks. I don't know the actual anatomy names for a rabbit, so big fluffy cheeks it is. To help me sculpt the clay, I used some sculpting tools I got from a shop called Flying Tiger. They are actually cake tools, but they work really well for this too. Just use what you have. I used the tool to push around and make indentations in the clay around my nose, and I made a V shape and then carried the lines down parallel to each other from the cupid's bow to the upper lip. I used a bit of water on my finger to smooth everything out. Using water helps a lot to soften the clay and manipulate it the way you want. I originally thought about sticking the teeth into the mask, so I tried building up the lip area, but I didn't actually use this method in the end, so it's pretty pointless that I did this now. I then used some more water on my fingers to smooth everything down and kept sculpting the cheeks to make them more prominent. I took the teeth out before doing the next step. I figured I would show you all of my mistakes I made as part of my own learning curve, since I'm not a professional and everything I have learned was from YouTube and mistakes like these. I thought I would cover the clay with a layer of Vaseline so that it could easily peel the latex up afterwards. However, this made the mask soggy, meaning the latex would not set. Even after trying to dry it with the hairdryer, it just ended up clumping up in patches like this. So I left it to dry overnight, and this time when I put the latex on, I didn't apply Vaseline, and it worked. I put several layers of latex on, drying the layers off with a hairdryer in between. Then it came to peeling it off. I powdered it and started lifting it off using a brush and more powder to stop the latex sticking together. But I soon realised that even with almost 10 layers of latex, the mask was still too thin and flimsy, so it started to rip. The next day I decided to try again for the last time on a now completely dry mould. This time, to give the mask more structure, I used tissues and latex. I peeled the tissues apart so I just had one thin layer and started laying down latex. Put the latex down and laid the tissue on top. I used my finger to smooth the tissue out into any small details before layering more latex on top. I dried the layers off with a hairdryer between and repeated the layering process 7 times. After allowing the latex to dry overnight, I was left with this. I powdered the mask and started peeling up the latex with a brush and more powder. The whole time I was holding my breath, hoping that it was third time lucky. The tissue was able to hold the structure of the mask and was a lot stronger than just latex on its own. I put the mask back onto my face cast so it was easier to paint. You can paint the mask while on your face, but it's a lot easier to do now since you can see it better. I use a mixture of water-activated paints in black, white and pink. I won't explain the painting process too much as it is very customizable to your own preference. I just painted my rabbit white and used grey tones to add depth and more white to highlight more features and make them stand out. These areas include the nose, around the eyes, cupid's bow and the cheeks. You don't have to be a white bunny either, you can be any crazy colour that you want to be too. When adding depth, I started with a paler grey colour and kept adding more and more black each time to make it darker. The darker I got, the more concentrated I got, so the darkest areas were the deepest details. Does that even make sense? I added more white on the cheeks, nose bridge and cupid's bow to make all those areas more prominent. Then I topped it all off with a cute little pink nose using a mixture of a brighter pink and white. Then it occurred to me that the clay had dried onto my face cast, so I had to try and scrape it off for literally an hour.
To try and get the rest of the clay off that I couldn't get off using the, picking it off with the sculpting tools, I just submerged it in warm water and it seems to be working a treat. It's starting to soften up the clay so I can start picking that bit off. But other than that, I think most of it was down to the PVA glue layer that I put on it. So if you do make your own face mask, make sure you do seal it with PVA glue or any other sealant. And it should be good, but I'm gonna wait for all this to come off and then I'm gonna refile it and it'll be good as new, and I'm really glad because I did not want to go ahead and buy all the new stuff to make a new Jemima, and you know, I'm not ready to let go of Jemima yet, okay? You rest, you rest. Good girl, Jemima. May you get better soon.
If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe and comment what videos you want me to film next, and be sure to check out part 2 of the bunny makeup in the corner of your screen.